It's being recorded.
Yes. Okay. Well, we got there. We
Yay,
got there
well
in the
done
end.
too.
Thank you.
Yay. Good job.
So we are lucky to be able to talk with Coach Karina, who's also a friend, and we wanted to come on live and just talk about lots of different issues around what's going on for us at the moment, and just general coaching stuff, and hopefully this will be of help or inspiration to those of you who might be struggling right now. And just before we went live, Karina was telling me about how she'd supported somebody recently, and it was just so impressive. I said, yeah, you've got to talk about this, because really some brilliant stuff that you'd come up with that I think might be helpful to share.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's, as you say, there are lots of issues going on for everybody at the moment. And when we first started talking today, we were talking about how people are approaching things in different ways. Some people are comfortable in a situation like this, and some people feel an intense level of anxiety. And there's that sliding scale with each as well. And it's interesting to witness these times and see how different people react and respond very differently as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when there is struggle, I think you're right. We're kind of tested, aren't we, as to who we are, how we can cope. And of course, that's based on past experience and how we view the world, as you say.
Yeah, very much what you just said is, that past experience and the scenario that I was telling you about earlier was very much this person was basing a fear on what had happened in the past, and all the language that she was using around describing what it was that she was dreading and fearing was preventing her from opening up to the possibilities of what, and it was about the weekend, what this weekend would hold for her or could hold for her.
Yeah.
So by simply asking her just a few questions around what cabin fever meant to her, what that held for her, and then asking follow-up questions around that, she immediately in an instant had switched her mindset from one of I'm going to feel absolutely horrible and hate it to, oh my God, there's so much I can do. And having used words and phrases like being restricted to these four walls, to in fact realizing that she can go outside and tend to the garden and do a multitude of different things. So it was a really quick transformation to witness, and it was wonderful as well. And these are the things that we're able to do. We can question, well, how true is this? Is this really true? And challenge ourselves in that, instead of being in that pattern or that comfort zone of thinking in a certain way that we're so used to, or we can be so used to.
So it's something about testing our reality and being open to look at things differently in some way, and that if
challenging our reality, we can sit here and go, oh my God, I'm so bored, I'm isolated, or that I'm not, I'm restricted from doing things, to asking a question, well, do I really have to be bored right now? What else could I be doing? You know? Instead of sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm so bored.
Because if
I'm sure
thinking,
we've all got long lists of stuff that we've been putting off, right? Those lists do.
So it's like questioning, isn't it? It's questioning that reality, that version of reality, to say, really, is it really like that?
How true
It
is this?
reminds me of Kate Byron. The Work, she wrote a book called The Work, and she always talks about getting you to kind of, it is testing your reality based on the words that you use as well, but like, is it asking yourself, is that true? And then asking again, is that really true? You know, to come on that kind of probing, you know, it's a kind of invitation, isn't it, I think, to think outside of, like you say, our comfort zone, perhaps, or what we're familiar with. Yeah.
It's about breaking patterns as well, because you know, there are probably quite a few of us who have been either thinking or saying, I wish I had time to do X, Y, or Z, and look what's happened.
Yes, hello. Yes, be careful,
you know,
what we wish for.
Well, you know, many of us are still working from home. There is a considerable more amount of time in our days. Like my day, I've got 2.5 extra hours.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is fantastic. What do I want to use those hours for?
Right.
I'm getting a little bit of extra sleep, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm you know, getting things done around the house. I'm getting my work done. For the full-time job that I have as well. And I finish work at the same time I would normally finish work, but I'm home an hour earlier. What can I do with that time? I'm cooking better meals. I'm, you know, looking after myself a little bit more because I have the extra time to do that. So the magic is where we choose to place it, I guess.
And I think that's, the word is key, isn't it? It's choose. So we do have choice. I think that's key. To know that we have choice means that we don't have to stay in the same pattern then.
Absolutely. And you know, some of us may be feeling like, well, my choices aren't that great.
Yes.
And while there is a large element of truth to that, there are still choices within that we can make. So whether they're not so great choices, or whether they are choices that take us somewhere entirely different in our hearts and minds, that opportunity is still there, to grab with both hands and go, okay, this is within my control. I can manage how I feel, and how am I going to do that?
So it's a kind of call to action in a way. It's like almost like it's an opportunity for us to really dig deep to see how else we can be, and to maybe discover parts of ourselves that, you know, we didn't know we had. How can I be different now that I actually have to be in some way? Because if I'm not, then I just stay the same, and if I stay the same, nothing changes, and in fact it will get worse. So
that's a really good point. And it's about doing our best as well, isn't it? You know, I think I read somewhere the other day that taking action, whatever that action is, and that can be in a thought or a feeling, not just a doing, is being alive. So these are the actions, the choices that we make that impact how we feel. That is what being alive is. It's taking action and grabbing something by the horns and going, okay, do you know what? This is the situation. And it doesn't have to be as terrible as I'm feeling it is in my head right now. I can flip this. How am I going to do that? And I think when we don't do our best, or at least make those steps towards doing our best, whatever that best looks like, we're denying ourselves. We're actually denying ourselves. And taking something away from our own lives. It's not something else is taking it away. We're taking it away because we're not allowing ourselves to stretch.
And in order then to stretch, because that's a really good point about that we do it for ourselves. Does that mean that we have to get to a place of self-compassion? And to do that, we need to almost practice that art of nurturing ourselves and to feeling that we are worth it, even if it's the smallest of feelings. To nurture that bit, it's almost like a seedling of feeling good about ourselves, to keep nurturing that as if it was some kind of seedling that we want it to grow and grow and grow. And then the more we do that, the more then we're more able to kind of do that stretching and do that hoping for a better future, that, or believing that we can, or wanting to do our best. So,
and doing our best can be in the smallest of ways, or smallest of tasks, or smallest of thoughts that we have. And that compassion that you speak of, Sue, is a sneaky little thing to get hold of, you know. And I think if we can look at self-compassion in this kind of scenario where we're challenging our own thoughts and asking ourselves, is this true? That is self-compassion in itself. Because we're giving ourselves the space and the opportunity to hold ourselves and nurture ourselves in a way that is going to have a massive impact moving forward. The more we do this, the more practiced we become in challenging that reality that has been set in some way.
And that's great that you said that, practice. So that's almost like we need to develop a new habit then to break that old pattern that you're talking about. And how might we do that? And it's through practice, as you say, and that determination, to that commitment, I guess, to then keep practicing, challenging my thoughts every single day, till it becomes a new habit in the brain. Because
it's having a conversation with ourselves. You know,
that's it.
It is literally having a conversation. And it can feel a bit weird to start with, you know, so like, oh, well, no, oh, but, ooh, you know, and you kind of, you can have fun with it as well, because as soon as you start noticing a negative thought that you're having and something that you're telling yourself, you can stop it, because you've noticed it and go, okay, I'm back there. How did I get there? Okay, what do I need to do to move forward? What are the words and the phrases and the feelings that are going to benefit me right now in order to feel better right now? It's not about being a hero straight away. It's bite-sized chunks. We've got to practice.
So something then about being the observer of the thoughts, moving away from what's happening, knowing that we aren't our thoughts. It's just a chemical reaction doing stuff based on habit. So we move away from that. We catch the thought, as you say. And so we can see it and know it for what it is, but know that it doesn't necessarily represent the truth of what is. And then we question it. So is that true? Okay. Oh, I've noticed that I've just thought that negative thought again about myself, that I'm not good enough or whatever it is. Catching it. Okay, how can I then turn that around? Even though I don't quite believe it right now, I'll just see how it is, see how it feels to just turn around. So if I don't think I'm good enough, turn it around to, well, first of all, is it true? Am I not good enough? And keep asking that. And then how would it be to turn that around to, I am good enough? And just to sit with that, even though you might not believe it straight away.
I can give you an example from today. At work, we're having to calculate surface areas of certain sizes of paper in order to figure out what the cost of something is going to be. And the story in my head has always been, I'm no good with numbers.
Yes, I have a similar one.
We've all got one or two or three or five.
Yeah.
I'm no good with numbers. So as soon as my colleague emailed me, because I asked him, could you send me a test? Like, give me some homework because I'm not getting this. Okay.
Yeah.
So he sent me the test and I had to calculate it. And he then called me up and we discussed, what wasn't correct. And he, I literally had a hissy fit. And I said, Chris, you just got to allow me to do this. This is what I need. I'm asking you for what I need. I need to have a hissy fit and then I'm going to be okay.
Yes.
And all it was I was missing a vital piece of information that allowed me to understand the structure of the surface area.
Yeah.
And once I had that, once I'd had my hissy fit,
Yes.
I was good to go. So it's not that I'm not bad with numbers, it's the fear of not getting it right that was getting in the way.
Yes.
And the fear of potentially not understanding it was completely blocking my mind from absorbing any further information.
Yes.
As soon as I had all those pieces of the puzzle,
yes,
it was like, okay, I can do this now.
Yes.
I still need practice because it's complicated.
Yeah.
However, I know that I've got support in my colleague who's good at this, and I can keep practicing with him. And the more I practice, the more fluid and fluent I'm going to become in this particular exercise.
Yes.
And it is the same with language, with words, how we communicate with each other, how we get up in the morning, maybe not feeling so positive or great, and what it is that we notice about all those little parts of the cog that is making that particular wheel turn, so that we can put it together with something else and make it move in a different direction.
Lovely. And the challenge of that and the resistance that we feel perhaps initially in allowing a new thought to come in. Actually, maybe I am okay to understand this. Maybe I can understand this.
See that hill and the person running on it? That was me when this came in. I was like, no! But I knew it straight away. And there was just no way that I was going to let myself get away with deferring all responsibility for this particular element to my colleague,
You had
that
to
would
meet
have
that.
been uncourageous of me.
Yes. It's like you had to do it. Yeah, absolutely. You met
so
the
we
challenge.
can sit here as coaches and give really great advice, but I think it's even more valuable that we sit here and go, do you know what, me too.
Yeah, me too. Then we know. But I had a really similar thing as well. It was yesterday with my VA, my virtual assistant lady, Jo Lewis, who by the way is excellent. And we were on a Zoom call and she was talking me through, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a techie. All I remember was a techie thing. It was a techie thing. And that's right. And in order to resolve the techie thing, I needed to go out of wherever I was into LastPass, which is a place online where you put all your passwords. And then I couldn't remember the password to get in to the place that has the passwords. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Did you have a hissy fit?
I had a hissy fit with tears. Yeah, absolutely. And bless her, she was, it's fine, it's okay, don't be hard on yourself. But actually I had to have that. It's like, it just had to come out. It just had to express itself. And then it was fine. Then okay, right now, let's see now I've calmed down and see what I need to. But it fed into that fear that actually I'm no good at this or not clever enough, those kinds of things. And actually when I had calmed down and thought, okay, well, I need to meet the challenge. Let's see. So I managed to get in to my passwords, and then from then on it was fine. But it just took that thing to, it's just too much. But so
and I guess it's having that the availability of somebody else being okay with
Yes.
somebody feeling challenged as well.
Yes. That's
You know, and asking for what we need in that moment.
Yeah.
Because my colleague is very manly and it's very like this, and he's like, any question that you ask Amy, he responds with a no, and to me, you know, that is a huge trigger.
Yes.
So this is one of the reasons why words and communication are so important to me, and why I'm so passionate about it. So I've over the last 6 months grown to understand that he receives me asking him for what I need really well. So if he's not doing something that allows me to absorb information, all I need to do is say, Chris, this is what I need from you right now. And he switches like that. And then he allows me to have a hissy fit, or go, I'm not understanding this. You know, this is not how I learn. I need it visually. And he goes, okay, well, here you go. I'm going to send you this, you know, and so it's about asking somebody in those moments where we're feeling that we're about to pop, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm about to pop and this is what I need. So that may help people as well, you know, instead of being
absolutely it's kind of permission to just have that hissy fit, but also it takes the degree of self-awareness that you knew you were about to pop, and then you knew that you had to like I just came and you know, and then you knew that you had to ask for what you needed. So excuse me, which is really important. We are able to have our needs met, that we know that we have a right to have our needs met.
And if I hadn't have asked him, I wouldn't have learned this thing, because I wouldn't, my brain would not have been physically capable of taking in the information, absorbing it and learning it. And
exactly.
you know, digesting it.
Yeah.
Had I not asked him for various different things that I needed in order to gain that knowledge, then I would still be in the same boat going,
exactly.
I'm no good with numbers. I can't do this.
Nobody will help me do it either, maybe.
Not when I have hissy fits, no.
Exactly. So Jo was really good as well with me. She gave me the space in the end, and it was fine. So
there we go.
There we go.
I hope that helps everyone.
We hope
take home message, it's okay to have a hissy fit.
It is, that's the main thing. And actually it's really relevant and current right now, given that a lot of people, you're either on their own, and so they have that relationship with themselves to negotiate, and also those people who are with others whose relationships will be tested, undoubtedly, inevitably.
Very on point.
So
ask for what we need.
Ask for what we need and develop that self-awareness about yourself and who you are.
Don't get to boiling point. Don't get to the pop point.
And if
you do fit level, okay. We all do the but pop level not good.
Ideally avoided, but if it's there, it's there, and we just learn from it. And test our own reality. And should we leave it there, Karina?
Leave it there. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed this.
Me too. It's been fun.
Amazing. So before we stop, did you want to just let us know some details about if people want to contact you?
And the easiest way to contact me is through my website, which is karinawilliamscoaching.com. And I don't typically respond to Facebook Messenger messages. It's all done via my website, and we then can have a conversation if that's something that you choose. But thank you, Sue. I wasn't expecting that.
Absolutely. And that you're also a creative, aren't you? You're an artist.
I am. I've got a new group, it's brand new, not a lot of members in it just yet, but it's called the
It's lovely.
Creative Expression Hive,
Yeah.
where if you are creative in any way at all, new or skilled, old school, whatever it is, this is a space for us to post the things that we are working on, out of pure joy, for the purpose of sharing and maybe practicing sharing what we love doing as well. And it's simply a space to be creative in, and share the love for that part of our lives. So
Yeah.
it's free.
Great.
It's private as well.
Yeah, and you don't have to be an artist, do you? You can.
Gosh, no. No, we've got doodlers, we've got knitters, we've got photographers, we've got artists, painters, ink drawers, writers, dancers. Could be cooking, could be absolutely anything. That's creativity. It's not artistic skill, it's creativity.
Yes.
And that could be drawing a circle on a piece of paper.
Yes.
That's welcome too.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Karina. It's been lovely. Maybe we'll do it again.
Love to. Thank you very much.
Cool. Bye for now.
Bye.
Right, then we'll just